This is a disclaimer for anybody that knows me, as in my family members, direct family, of what I'm about to say in this video. It is what it is. Hi guys. It's been a while. It's been a while. I've actually been really busy with since the last time. I mean, the last time I was on YouTube was like in 2023, actually, probably like towards the end of 2023. So happy New Year's. I know it's really late, but happy New Year's. I hope that you guys' year so far has been great. My year has been, I mean, it's been good. It's been pretty good actually. So, by the title of this video, you're probably wondering what am I talking about. So, actually, since the last video I posted, I actually don't remember what the last video was. It was probably like something about dating or something. But yeah, so my 2024 until now, I haven't been doing that, obviously, for a lot of reasons. But the reason why I mainly think it just hasn't worked out all this time and all these 2 years that I've tried is because of I'm not supposed to be dating right now. And I'm Christian, so I believe that God literally it put me in a place right now to not date, because I'm supposed to be in a place of self-reflection, of appreciation of what I do have. And I also think that, well, this season, I've grown spiritually a lot, and that's what this video is about, guys. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm nervous because I'm gonna be super duper vulnerable in this video. More vulnerable than I've ever been than a person should be on YouTube. Because I mean, since I started YouTube, it's kind of been a place like where I can share stuff when I feel like, I don't know, when I feel like I can't in my everyday life, I just go on YouTube. So that's what I'm gonna do. And this video might be long. I don't want it to be that long because it's gonna be a pain to edit, but we're gonna try to see how it finishes up. So, as I mentioned in the title, I just wrote stuff like I wrote some notes because I'm probably gonna, so I don't forget everything that I wanted to talk about in the video. But like mentioned in the title, this is a season I think of isolation in my life. And I'm not, when I mean isolation, I mean like, well, I'm literally like isolated. Yes, I have friends that I occasionally go out with. It's not a lot, but I'm glad to go out with them when I can. My roommate has left to travel for like 2 months, and I'm not dating anybody. So I think it all worked. I think it all was meant to happen, believe it or not, where I'm completely left alone because there was a lot of things that I had to go work out that I am still working out. And to kind of like explain in depth and for you to understand, let's just go back to 2021. 2021. It's just gonna be a like, let's just think of it as like a story time, I guess, so we can get context as to what I'm talking about. All right, so let's start when I came into uni. That was 2021 when I first came into uni. I came into university as a Christian, as a full blown, I would say Bible thumping Christian, because that's how I grew up. I grew up to love God and Jesus, you know? So that's how I came to university. But I was also battling depression heavily. Like, let's say about I think as long as I was like a kid, like in high school, socializing with people from high school, ninth to 12th grade, I was a very anxious person in regards to social situations. But that's because I was also very insecure in my ability to be a good friend, to be a good person, which was also rooted in Christianity. I didn't think that, like, I thought it was very, very important to be a good person. One, so I can, go to heaven, and two, so people around me don't judge me and don't hate me, because my self-worth was put in other people. So when I first came to university, I was heavily depressed because of that. And university first year was horrible. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who have either been in their first year or in their first year can attest to that. It was actually horrible. You don't know what you're doing, you're confused. So there was just a lot of stuff going on that didn't help. And during that time, I was praying, I was doing all of that, but I just felt like, why am I going through all of this? Like, why am I going through all of this? Like, like, why is God letting me go through all of this? Why is God putting me through this? I was really confused. I was a little bit upset, and as a kid, I was really inquisitive. I would ask a ton of questions. I had a big mouth. I spoke a lot, and specifically about religion, about Christianity. I had a lot of questions, and I would ask the questions that no one physically on this earth can answer. Like, why God lets things happen to certain people? Why do good people have horrible things happen to them? Why are children getting murdered in wars? Why are all these wars happening? Why did slavery happen? The questions that you probably hear online or whatever. And no one could answer them. And because no one could answer them, I was just like, okay, well, I'm never going to get an answer. But that didn't sit right with me. I needed an answer. I felt like I had to have an answer so that I can be motivated to continue to practice this religion, because it was getting hard to find a reason. In university, first year, I would wake up, pray, read the Bible, but just to say that I did it and to keep my Bible app streak. That's all I read the Bible for. And I felt nothing. It felt like a chore instead of a relationship like it was always told to me. So, sorry, I'm just like looking here to see if I missed anything. I literally like wrote everything out. It's 4 pages, so let's see if we can get through this. Yeah, so on top of that, there was stuff like in the Bible, like the commandments, no sex, no drinking, no, I don't want to say no lying, because it's not like I wanted to lie, but just stuff like that. And I was like, why is it there? I don't understand why it's there, because growing up at my church, it was just like, this is bad, no explanation. This is bad, don't do it, period. So I'm like, you guys are not even giving me an explanation to not do this. Why should I not do this? Let me tell you, it's there for a reason for people who read the Bible. It's there for a reason. So, sorry. It's there for a reason. So, when I came here, I was like, okay, finally I have freedom. I was already kind of falling off the Christianity, and I didn't want to like miss out on life, because they're like, this is your youth, this is your years, we're supposed to have fun, But that one Bible verse that popped up in my head was, I know it in French, les jeunes, réjouissez-vous de votre jeunesse, mais savez like au fin des temps vous serez jugés. It's paraphrasing, but basically, you have fun, but you have fun, and you finna get judged and probably go to hell. So I was like, that's not fair. That's not fair, because it's like, why? So I'm not allowed to have fun, basically, because I also thought, I didn't know how you could have fun as a Christian person. I had no clue. So those were all the stuff there. Oh, by the way, this is a disclaimer for anybody that knows me, as in my family members, direct family. What I'm about to say in this video, it is what it is. Like, this is my past, so I'm literally sharing my past, so I can just literally leave it all behind me. I'm literally doing this so I can leave it all behind and move on. So if you hear this, don't ever ask me questions about it when you hear from me, when you get a call from me, when you see me. Don't ask no questions, because I'm not going to give you any details. This is a need to know basis. So that's just there as well. For my French speaking family members, si tu vois cette vidéo, s'il vous plaît, ne me posez pas de questions, parce que ça c'est mon passé. Et Je suis ici pour juste laisser mon passé et puis aller en avant avec ma vie. Thank you, merci. Anyways, so as I was saying, whew, what was I saying? Yeah, I didn't understand why all of that stuff was there. I didn't find it fair either. Okay. And I was also like really rule rule based because of my anxiety. I just followed the Bible like it was a rule book. I tried so hard not to sin. I was like, okay, let me try to not do this and not do this, and let me not do this, let me not do that. But spoiler alert, we're gonna sin until the end of our days. Literally, we're going to do this. We're gonna sin because we're human beings. We're not perfect. So that was never gonna work for me. But I was really adamant about that. And I've heard this somewhere online and I agree with it. It's like the more you focus on sin, the more you're gonna do it because it's the only thing that's on your mind, right? So it's more about focusing on the relationship. Anyways, so where was I? Anyway, so what I just said, if you focus on sin too much, it's going to literally be the forefront of your mind. That's all you're gonna think about, and you're just gonna do it. Just I've come to terms at this point that I sin, I fall short, but that's why we have Jesus so that we can literally be cleansed. We can literally be cleansed. So a Bible verse that actually came to mind while I was writing these notes and recalling my past was when this is Matthew 14, chapter 14, verse 25 to 31, and it was talking about how when Jesus was walking on water. All right, when Jesus was walking on water, I'm actually going to pull it up. So give me a second. All right, so I found it. It's really more in like verse 20. Ooh. Yeah, verse 29 to 31. So Jesus said to him, this is Peter. Jesus said to him, come to me. This is the easy English version. I'm sorry, I read the easy English version so I can understand. No shade to anyone who reads any other version, but this is just my version that I read. So it says, come to me. So Peter got down out of the boat. He walked on the water and came towards Jesus. But then Peter saw that the wind was still blowing strongly. He became afraid and he began to go down in the water. He shouted to Jesus, Lord, save me. Immediately, Jesus put out his hand and he took a hold of Peter. He said to Peter, you should trust me more than you do. Why do you not believe that I could help you? So this actually came to me because it's not said nowhere in the Bible that we're not going to go through trials and tribulations, like we're not going to have problems. The world is messed up. The world is messed up, and unfortunately, that's just what's going to happen. People go through things, people die, horrible things happen, and I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that that's just the conclusion that I came up with. So, but he said that he would be with us through our issues. So the problem is like the water, right? We are Peter. I'm going to say me, okay? I'm Peter in this situation, and my problems are the water. So I can choose to just stay and drown in the water and have it eventually literally like kill me, or I can reach out to Jesus's hand and have him help me walk on the water with him to overcome my problem. No one said my problem is going to be gone like that, but I have support. I have hope. I have strength. I have, and over time, all is well, all is good, whatever. That's what I understand now, looking back in that moment and seeing that. So, anyways, there are also like other parts in the Bible where it says we're gonna go through hardship, but basically God's with us. God's with us through it. I'm not quoting. I'm just paraphrasing from what I've read. So after all of this, okay, that happened in my first year. I think it was that summer of my first year. Well, I tried to kill myself. So Yeah, I tried to kill myself that first year because I felt hopeless. I felt like no one really loved me, even though I had literally loved ones. I felt like I don't know. I felt hopeless. Like I could never change who I am as a person. You know, like I was beating myself up because I'm somebody who overthinks. I've come to terms with it, but I didn't back then. I'm somebody who overthinks, and that was eating me up. I was beating myself up over the fact that that I would get upset, overly upset over the fact that my friend spoke to me different today. She must hate me. Someone did this. They must hate me, right? So it just got too much one day. And I decided, I was like, I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. I just want peace. I just want peace. I just want all of this to be done. I want to live. Well, I know now that I wanted to live, but like back then I was like, I just want my brain to shut up. I just want everything to just stop. So I took something, and I didn't pray at that point because I was just like, I was like, I left God. He probably doesn't want to hear from me anyways. So, and that's not true, by the way. I don't think that you should believe that when you're like you like, because I thought I willingly left, right? I was like, you know what, at this point I left because I had all these questions that were unanswered. I just had all these things that I mentioned earlier, so I left. And I was like, he doesn't want to hear from me. I left him, so like I guess I'm gonna leave this world too. So yeah. And so I tried that, but then literally in the middle of it I was like, you know what, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I just want to be better. I just want a peaceful life. So, obviously, after all that happened, I got on like antidepressants, whatever. I healed. I didn't like heal my deep trauma that I've experienced. I'm gonna say in like, it was like in high school. It was mostly middle school, high school, the trauma of, certain friendships, blah, 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 whatever. So after that, everything was fine. When I say fine, I meant like fine, like I was managing. There were never times where I was happy. There were like serotonin jumps where something happened and I was like, oh yeah, I'm happy. But then I was like, it was just a base again. And most of those serotonin jumps had a lot to do with men, which we're going to the next part of the story. And this is 2021 to literally December 2023, where I've dealt with men all that time. And honestly, I really wish, looking back at it now, I didn't do all of that. I really wish I didn't do all of that because, well, one, I think that even though I wish I didn't do it, part of me is glad, I guess, that I went through it to end up where I am today. I have a lot of wisdom, I guess, and experience to stay away from certain things, I guess. I'm really saying I wouldn't be in this place if I didn't go through what I went through. So, but part of me also looks back and I'm a little disgusted with myself. I'm not gonna lie. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. Um, so yeah, where I was talking about guys. So, I was far, 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 far from God. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna experience what I want to experience, and we'll see what goes on, what happens after. So I fell into a lot of this is I fell into a lot of sexual sin, and I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. So the reason I was heavily involved with men like that is because I was looking for a place to be loved. To see the pattern from the first part of the story. I'm still looking to be loved. Not now. I mean, at that point. And so those serotonin boosts I earlier mentioned, it was from, oh my gosh, like a guy texted me, oh my gosh, we're going on a date, oh my gosh, this and that, oh, he likes me. And then, from dating in 2023, you can see my old videos, my old video about dating in 2023. You can see how that wasn't going to work with the mentality that I had. So after going through all of that, it just became extremely depressing. And I had just gotten out of, remember, my first like mental health era, horrible era. So now I'm like, it's declining again because I was looking to be loved in places where there were no love, where there was only lust, and I thought that lust equals love. But I heard this recently: the devil is an imitator. He imitates God. You be showing me lust, I'm thinking, oh, I'm loved, but it's not because your body is just being used. And so, literally, the more I interacted with these people, the more I felt like I was losing my soul, literally. So, but it was a cycle. I kept going back. I was stuck in a cycle. I would date, and then I would get hurt, my feelings hurt, whatever. I would stop dating. I would feel lonely and envious of my friends, and then I would go back, and then it was again and again and again, and I couldn't get out of that. And I would beat myself up every time. Every single time. I was miserable. I was honestly miserable. And this was from 2021 to literally until I broke it in 2024. So, there you go. But that also, that mindset also got me in a bad relationship, which you can also find in my first ever video I made on this YouTube channel. So there's that. And so after all of this, I was like, okay, I need to go back to therapy because something's not making sense. Why am I doing this to myself? I'm harming myself. This is self-harm. So I go back to therapy and I heal. I do a lot of work on myself. I'm not dating. I have not dated for 6 months at this point. This is 2023, September. I went back to therapy when school started, and I was doing the work. I was spending more time with myself. I was doing things that I enjoyed. I was, giving myself affirmations. I would, every day I would list 5 or more things that I appreciated about the life that I have, about the day that I had, about my present. And it was working, and it has worked. It worked. I started to appreciate my life, and it was like great, it was great. I always felt like there was something missing though, even though I was going through life, like I'm healed. I have a good job. I'm making like a decent amount of money. Some college students are like literally, struggling, and I'd like to think that I have a pretty good life. I work from home. I have good friends, family that loves me, and so let's go to, now it's New Year's. It's New Year's. Oh, before that, I also, during this period of time, 2021 to December 2023, I had also attempted to kill myself another time. But this is like more earlier in 2023 when I was with my ex-boyfriend. It also dealt with, self-love. I had settled for like way less than I really do deserve, to be honest. It was all about love. I wanted to feel loved, and I wasn't feeling loved at all. So there was that. But back to after that, I did the work. I went to therapy, rebuilt myself, rebuilt the relationship with myself. And yeah, so before I go to the transition to 2024, let's go to December 2023. And that's when I decided to finally read the Bible. I had not been dating, mind you, from September, right? September. So I was like, you know what? Let me try, because I was healing from my wounds, but I still felt this sense of loneliness, like when a wind blows in a room and there's just that echo or whatever. That's what it always felt like. Even though my life was good, like I like the stuff that I mentioned was going on, I still felt hollow and I felt weird. And so that's when I started reading the Bible again, because I was like, that's my default. I grew up Christian, so let me just try to read the Bible. Those who who seek out the Lord will find him. I really, you know. So that's what I did. But also, I was seeking him out at that point because in December 2023, I say it was going good, but I just remembered that December 2023, I was very sad because as much as I tried to appreciate the things that I had in my life, as much as I tried to be happy for my friends and their romantic relationships, as much as I tried all of that, I was just like, but why is it not happening to me? Why? I've spent 2 to 3 years looking and searching and trying and giving my and just having myself torn. Like I feel like every interaction, a piece of myself was just torn out, and it's still not working. Why me? So I was very sad actually, December 2023. And you know, I spoke about this with my roommate one time, and she obviously was like, "Girl, you have to like, I guess, learn how to appreciate your life or whatever." And I was trying. I don't know if you said that. I'm paraphrasing. So that's when I decided to open the Bible because you know God is near the brokenhearted. So I was like, you know what? I know it's been a long time. And the main reason as to why also I wasn't really talking to him during those 2 to 3 periods is because I was like, I'm not doing things that are making you happy. I've decided to willingly leave you. I don't know why you would want me back. So I was just like, no, I'm not doing all of that until December 2023 when I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick up a Bible and I'm going to read. I was feeling really lonely. So I was looking up for verses about loneliness and stuff. And they comforted me, but it still felt like a chore. Like I was like, okay, I have to wake up, read the Bible, and I'm gonna have to read the Bible, and I'll be healed. I'll be healed, and I'll find a man. Yeah, that was my mentality. Oh, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that's what it was. So, like, read the Bible, and you'll be good, and then you'll find a man. Maybe like, I still felt like it was still in my own hands. So as much as I was reading the Bible, I was just like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it, you know? So I felt like I also had an ulterior motive, which I just mentioned was getting a man. The way that had a grip over me, bro. The way that had a grip over me is crazy. So now let's before we continue, during that time I was reading the Bible as well. I was also not willing to get rid of certain habits. I still wanted to date. I hadn't been dating, but I was like, oh yeah, once I'm better, whatever, I'm probably gonna go back and I'm, gonna try again or whatever. So I was like, girl, myself now is just like, and it hasn't even been that long. But anyways, so now to February. Oh, I skipped a little bit. Sorry. January 2024. So crossing over to the new year, I had spent it in church with my family and back in Brampton, and I felt something, you know, as we all do probably, you know. In the beginning, I was like, no, this feels really nice. This feels really nice. It feels really very, very good. Like, and I want to keep staying in here, you know. And honestly, I feel like that's where some seed was planted or something. Something was planted that day at church. I don't remember what the sermon was, but I remember I just was there. Maybe also I was going through a lot, so I was just I was feeling the sermon. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Like it was speaking to me. So, anyways, that's what happened. And but I still wasn't like, even though I felt that, I still wasn't really ready to fully give myself, to commit myself. You know what I mean? So now let's move to February. This is last month, February. We're in March, ending March. This is February 2024. And I was praying more. Like I was praying more. Like I wasn't fervent in prayer, but I was praying more. I was speaking to him more, but I was still very much lukewarm. I was still doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? And I was like, and the thing is though, at that point, in February 2024, when I was doing those things, it's like, I don't know, like going to the club, whatever, whatever, whatever. I was there, but I didn't, it just didn't sit right with me. And even though I didn't fully commit myself to Christ, I just found myself less and less wanting to go to the club, wanting to really drink that much, wanting to smoke. I stopped smoking weed like a really long time ago, by the way. It really just that was a weird period of time. It wasn't that much, but like I used to a little bit, but I stopped doing that. I just liked staying home. I liked going doing stuff doing during the day, just chilling. I had started to listen a little bit to my old gospel playlist, but I would still mix it up with my other playlist, whatever. So, you know, that was my life in February. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go on another date. I'm ready. So that's what I did. And I went on the date and it was fine. It was actually a guy that I really liked. I really liked him. And, but, he was a Christian. And at that time I was like, I want a Christian guy. But like, thinking about it now, I was like, you want a Christian guy, but you're not even giving Christian. Like, you not even Christian yourself, really. So what you doing with a Christian man who let's assume is like very devoted to Christ? Like, what are you doing over there? That might as well be just unequally yoked, girl. But anyways, so I really really liked him, but I had to cut him off. I'm not gonna say why, but it was people who know why. Like, it was just a really big information that I didn't want anything to do with. And so I was like, you know what? Okay. This is the first time also, by the way, where I had left a romantic situation and I was the one who was in control. Sorry. Whoa, whoa. So I was the one in control. And so this is the first time where I separated myself like that from a guy and didn't feel completely devastated and heartbroken. Yeah, so I'm currently editing, and I just wanted to correct myself. So the guy that I really liked, and I found out what I found out. I actually didn't immediately, I didn't immediately, do what I had to do and cut him off. I actually did cry and ask all those questions. So it was after, when I was finally able to cut him off, that I realized that I was okay and it's not the end of the world. So after that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm actually good. I've healed enough to know that this is not my fault. I've healed enough to not just start blaming why is this happening to me. I've healed enough to be like, you know what? That just happens and that's okay. So after that was like the middle of February, and I had just gone back to my life. I had gone back to my life. I go to school, go to work at home, see my friends, and repeat, and just do all of that. But I couldn't help but shake this feeling that I had. So I couldn't shake this feeling. I was like, yes, my life is good. It's good. I don't care that much about being in a relationship. I've actually accepted the fact that I might not be in a relationship, at least anytime soon. I've accepted that finally. I've started to appreciate my life. I've started to, just appreciate everything around me. It's fine. It's great. But I still felt hollow and empty and purposeless. Like, yes, I feel like I have a purpose in film. I'm a film student and I love film and I want to do that until like for the rest of my life, and I want to do all of that. But I still felt like I was just moving along in life. I just, like mentally I was good. Emotionally I was good. I was good. Some would say I was good. I was happy. I thought I was happy. Maybe I was, but I still felt like empty a little bit. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, I just can't shake the feeling that if I, if I keep going down this road that I'm going, I am going to go to hell if Jesus came back right now, because I still believe in Jesus Christ. I just don't follow him. Like, even if I didn't pray to him, whatever, and I have started praying to him a little bit, I still believed in him. I just didn't think that I just didn't want to follow the rules. I didn't want to do that because I thought it was forcing, constricting, whatever, whatever. But at that point in my life, last month, I'm like, at this point, I've done everything that I've wanted to do. I've done everything that the Bible told me not to do. Most, not everything, chill. I've done, like, I've done, I've lived, like people like to say, I've lived, I've had fun. I was like, it wouldn't even be forceful now. At this point, I want to have a meaningful life. I want everything I do to have meaning at this point now. I don't want to just wake up like a sack of, and just to be thrown into the next day, be thrown into the next activity, waiting from the, living day to day, hour to hour. It just felt, no, it felt eerie. I didn't like that. So this time, okay? This time, not yet. I didn't pick up the Bible yet. So, like, I started feeling uneasy, and then now I'm starting to have dreams. And this is my journal, that I journal, like, my dreams and, my Bible stuff. So let me tell you, this was in March now. Okay, I've been living like that until March 17th. So really, it hasn't even been that long. It hasn't been that long. So it hasn't been that long, but I just felt like I had to share still. So this was March 17th. Okay, mind you, since I'm looking back at this, I'm just gonna go back a little bit. Back in January, when I started after I went to church on New Year's, I decided to read the Bible again. When I told you it wasn't as strong-willed or whatever, I started in January. Oh, no. I started in December. Yeah. I started in December. I stopped on January 12th, and then I started again on March 17, 2024. And I had a dream where I was back home with my parents, and I was sitting on the stairs with my best friend, and we were just, we were talking about our past, whatever. My dad overheard us, and he was about to go off, but I was just like, no, like, it's okay. And I just start admitting to everything that I did in the past. I just started admitting it to him. And then my best friend stopped me. We both started crying, and then my dad prayed for us, and then I woke up. And then before that, back in January, this is after I went to church, I had a dream. I'm going to read it verbatim. I had a dream where I was dying. My heart was bad and it was killing me. But before I was about to take my last breath, I realized I could still pray. So I did, and I was well again. My heart was fixed. That was when I was very brokenhearted. So I was like, okay, see, I'll get to what I'm about to say at the last part of this video. So yeah, that was one of my dreams in January. And then the one I read about me and my dad and my best friend, that was in March. So after that dream in March, I was like, you know what? I actually still have a little bit of feelings that I need to let out in regards to Christianity and what I saw as Christian, all the issues I had. I just decided to pour out my heart to God, and I wrote it down. I'm not gonna read it out loud, but I wrote it down. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Okay, I vented. Let me read the Bible, okay? And it was Hebrews chapter 5 verse 7. All right. And let me just pull it up quickly. Yeah, when Jesus Christ lived on earth. This is the easy English version again. When Jesus Christ lived on earth as a man, he often prayed to God. He asked God to help him. He prayed strongly and he cried loudly with many tears. He knew that God could save him from death, and God listened to Jesus when he prayed because Jesus served God. So after reading that as my first real verse back, I was like, okay, I understood that, he saves us from death if you believe in Jesus. And I've been having this whole predicament of, I'm going to go to hell, man. I'm going to go to hell. So I'm like, okay, there's your answer. There's your answer. And he hears our pleas. So that made me think back. It's like, okay, to all that I've been through. So I'm like, okay, you heard me. He heard me through, my hardships, my depressions, whatever. I mean, my personal experience with it, I never really called out to him or prayed to him. I was like, whatever. I wanted to die, right? So I didn't really care. I was like, okay, whatever. But what I understand now is just that I guess he hears them. And again, he's not going to take it away like that, but he's going to help us through it, is what I understand. So if things may seem hard right now and you're losing hope, I just want to say that he hears you. He hears you. He's there. Just keep going on. Keep asking for strength. Keep asking for his love. Keep asking for his strength, his hand, because he's there and he just want to guide you. He just want to help you up. Just like he helped him disciples on the water, he just want to help us above to get up the water. You know what I mean? But I don't even know if that was good advice. I'm sorry if it wasn't. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, and that is when I decided to choose him. And it's been 17. We're what day are we? Well, the 28th. So it's been 11 days. 11 days with the Lord, guys. 11 days. So, yeah. Now, to what I've learned in this moment of isolation. That's what I made this video for. So what I learned in this moment of isolation. I'm going to go more in depth and say what changed my point of view of the world and of myself. And what changed my point of view about Christianity instead of it being a chore, instead of it just being something that I checked off that I did today, is I chose to seek out an actual relationship with him. And it changed once I've realized, and I started reading the Bible for real, sitting there on my mornings for 30 minutes, reading the Bible and trying to understand what he's trying to say to me today. And I understand now that God came, decided to come in human form on this earth, this ghetto, crusty earth. He decided to come here, all right, to get tortured, to get ridiculed, embarrassed, and killed for someone like me, for someone who falls into sin every day, for someone who literally, who has done stuff that they're not proud of. He came here and died for me. All right. So the least I can do is give myself as a living sacrifice for him, because one, I do want to go to heaven, and two, I don't even mind doing that anymore. I don't even mind. I don't even want to do the things that I used to do though. So it's like the least I can do to repay you is just follow you, because you're the only person that can give me the strength to follow you and to deny my flesh and to deny what I want in the world, right? So that's what I gotta say. That's one of the things I realized. Two, I'm starting to make him my best friend. To go to him with everything, good, bad, ugly, cute, pretty. Go to him with everything. Go to him about everything, because at the end of the day, he's the only one who can guide me the way I need to be guided, who can comfort me the way I need to be comforted. Yes, of course, I take my friends' counsels and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's my homie. He knows me better than anyone. So he would obviously know how to comfort me, how to help me, how to do all this stuff for me. All right. The biggest thing I've learned as well in this season is that so far is that I don't know, and I will never know the answer to why he allows certain things to happen to certain people. I never will. The world is messed up. Since Adam and Eve ate that fruit, all bets was off. We suffering now. We can only, we suffer just as much as anyone else suffer. We all suffer in this world. And unfortunately, that's just the sad truth of it. All right. That's what I learned as well in the book of Job. Job chapter 38. We wasn't there when he created the world. We're not there. We're not there behind the scenes. So we don't know why certain things go on. We don't know half of the things, a lot of the things. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? All I can do is pray. All I can do is pray, because it's like, that's the only thing I can do. And this is my personal take on it. I don't think you can fully appreciate the good in your life until you've experienced bad in your life, because you know, oh, I've had it bad before. This is great. This is great, because I'm not in a place that I was like that before. I'm in a better place. I'm in a good place. So thank you, God, that I'm in this place and not in this place, right? And say for the opposite, you're going through a bad time. You know that it's possible to be in a better place because you have been in a better place in your past. So it can give you hope and motivation at times. You know, that's just my personal take, but that's what I learned as well. And the last thing I learned in this time is that there are some sins and there are some things and bad habits that I struggle with more than others. And at that point, you just cut them out. There's no reason for why I should be near it. There's no reason why I should even tempt myself. I don't even want to be there, so I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to allow that in my life. I'm not going to do this, which is why I completely cut out dating. I've just left that up to him. Whenever he wants to reintroduce me to a man, that's when I will accept him graciously. But for now, that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm supposed to. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing in this season. When I really look at it, I actually do have a lot of things going for me right now. There's school, there's personal projects and stuff, and there's myself that I'm working on. So for anyone who stuck this long in the video, thank you. I hope that what I said today, what I talked about today, even touched one person, even inspired just one person. Really, it was just for me to just talk. I feel way better personally just letting out all my stuff like that. Like, I feel way, way better. But if it could help somebody, I'm grateful. I'm really happy. And I can't even, was this a College Chronicle story? No, it wasn't a College Chronicle story. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I start posting on YouTube more in the summer, since summer vacation's coming up, summer break. I'll try to bring you guys along on my journey of life. I don't know. That was corny. But yeah, thank you so much for staying, and have a good day. Have a great day. Bye.
Check. Heavenly poetry. Devil ain't stopping nothing, just annoying me. My team nice, I don't know how they still ignoring me. That's why I hop on beats and treat some heat like it's some toiletry.